beautiful souls. I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin and setting it up for our next trade. I like to start my PA on the monthly chart, right? I do use the index chart under log scale, so it's important for me to share that information. One touch, two touch. My monthly is red, as I do use the chakra colors. I'm going to turn on, I use the 1226 EMAs. Right, and just a quick observation here, we had price action above 1226, making it a bullish trend. We crossed trend line, breaking down. Now we're retesting. If you turn off the wicks, you can see that technically we are in a bearish trend because the 1226 EMAs are flipped bearish on the monthly. Okay, so just based on my strategy, and if you're not following me, follow me on Twitter and all that good stuff, okay? And I do have a course. So just based on my strategy, really quick, let me show you my monthly bearish and bullish target. So this is going to be my bearish target here. If you know, you know. Sorry, I have to make everything cute because everything is cute. You have to enjoy what you do. So that's my monthly target. What is my bullish target? I'm going to turn on the pivot highs and lows indicator, or let's turn on higher high, lower low indicator. And this is going to guide me, show me where the higher high, lower low is. So it's actually showing me that's the weekly right now, the monthly right now, but I do not use or place my trend lines on live candles, so I can't do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go from previous high to the most current high, right? So if this is the case, we broke to the upside, right? I just looking at the monthly again, I feel I see a retest of the monthly trend line, but my target would be at 39, okay? Just based on trend line breaks and my strategy. So we're gonna go, because we are looking for a trade today, we are gonna be focused on finding our range. So not only do we find our targets, but we need to understand our ranges, right? So what's our range? Looking at the previous candle, okay? One touch, not one touch. So this is my support. This is my resistance for the monthly. I'm gonna go to the weekly, and I'm gonna rinse and repeat, same process. What am I going to do? I'm going to look for the previous candle, right? I'm going to set my high, and my weeklies are orange. And this is my low, just using the previous candle. And beautiful. Oh, I do want to show you something that I was doing yesterday, guys. I think it's important. Check this out before I continue. So, and it's going to be in my weekly. Let me turn off all the indicators. So I don't know if you've seen this indicator, but it's called the Pi Cycle indicator. Oh, I have to erase something. What am I going to erase? Supply and demand. Okay. Let me go ahead and Pi Cycle indicator. So this pretty much tells us, you know, it records the highs, right? And I did a beautiful chart yesterday that I shared in my Twitter, because that's what I do. The chart queen, the queen of charts. It's just really quick. Where is it? Here it is. Beautiful, beautiful chart that I did yesterday. So I'm going to repeat it right now, but the reason I turned on this indicator was to show you why it says, right, this is the real top, not the second top. So I'm going to go for it. So with that being said, right, I think it's a critical resistance trend line, this one. 1 touch, 2 touches. Mark it orange, right? Based on the pi cycle high, it's telling me that this is the real high. So I'm just gonna mark that trend line and, you know that this is critical resistance for me. Another thing that I want to focus on the weekly is my contraction phases, right? You need to understand Forex master pattern, understand this is a contraction phase, understand this is its own contraction phase. So when you know that, you understand that this contraction phase is creating its own pattern and doing its own thing. So just based on the weekly, what is it doing? What do you think it's doing, right? So I personally see, and I'm going for a megaphone. Okay, this is, it's not in my one. Did I label this? Yes, okay. So megaphone, okay, so this is my support, and this is going to be my resistance here. Could it be here? Sure. Right, so it's beautiful. And as you can see, I'm going to highlight it for you so it can pop up. So beautiful megaphone there, structure, right? Something to consider, right? And if you don't know how megaphones play out, Google it. Okay, another thing that's really important for me on the weekly to consider is the 21 simple EMA, right? It is my line in the sand that I've mentioned for the downside movement. So right here, at 26,900 would be my line in the sand for a down movement. Now, based on the pi cycle high, this right here is going to be my major resistance line in the sand. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and mark it, right? X marks the spot here. I'm going to mark it white. Critical range from that high to, so we're in critical moments here, and I hope I didn't lose you with my TA at this point. So this is a range, possible megaphone. So if it continues to the upside, right, it will break, and this is where I will take a long and then allow it to continue to the upside, right? Or the megaphone will play out, and also a possible bear flag, right? If you look at it, this is a possible bear flag here. So if this is the case, it's going to roll down to the downside to 12K. Okay, something to consider. So this is a critical. Also, we have like this rising wedge. You see it? Just connecting to trend lines, right? So it's important to understand where you are in the higher time frames. As a trader, I trade with the flow. So for me, it's important to understand major resistance at 32,995, right? And I marked it. And this is going to be major, right here. X marks the spot. I like this. This is going to be major support here. If we roll over to the downside, break this rising wedge, definitely a possibility. Okay, so now that I'm on my weekly, I set my trend lines, I set my range, previous candle, and I hope you understand my techno party at this point. Now we're gonna go to the daily, right? Daily, what's my expectations? So the simple 21 MA, I only use it in the weekly. I use the 1226 EMAs. Okay, in my daily, right? Also, market structure, understand that, you know, we went trend up, and now we're in a contraction phase. So this is our daily contraction phase. So let's focus here. Let's see what this contraction phase is doing, right? So in my daily, same process. I'm gonna get my range. How do I get my range? Previous candle, guys. So turn on your magnet, and this is my high, and my dailies are yellow. Right, this is my low. Another thing I really like to use is the Trader XO levels. Trader XO levels just show me critical support, critical resistance levels. Okay, I think they're amazing, especially when like you see price action bouncing around those critical levels. So on my daily, this is my range. What pattern do we see? Any pattern? Not really, right? It's literally trend up and a little contraction phase. So I'm not gonna put any trend lines, not quite yet. Let's go ahead and go to after my daily on my 4-hour. On my 4-hour, you can see the Trader XO level there, right? So I'm gonna highlight it. So this is gonna be major support or resistance, wherever price action is. I believe it's support right now. So I'm gonna mark it orange to remind me that's weekly. Sorry, get chickens outside. Oops. I don't know if you could hear the chickens, but okay. So now that I'm in my 4 hours, if you know my strategy, you know that 4-hour trend lines are critical in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is turn on higher high, lower low indicator, best indicator in the world. If I would give you one indicator, it would be this one because it's market structure, guys. It's all market structure. So just looking at it in the 4, what do we see? New highs being made. So what do I expect by market structure, right? A possible higher low and maybe a continuation to the upside, right? Market structure. Or we could have this high and then break to new lows, right? Because technically we created new lows. So it's just giving us a good view of the next possibility as it's marked its high. Okay, so here in my 4 hours, I want to draw some trend lines. What is this doing? What pattern can you see? Because every contraction phase is going to give you a pattern. So our job as day traders is to find a pattern within this contraction phase, right? So what I'm going to do, turn on my magnet and just connect some trend lines, 4-hour trend lines, right? And 4 hours are green. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. So right here, what does it look like? What do you think? What do you see? It's geometry, guys. Love geometry, right? This is our 4-hour pattern. So what do we see? Me personally, off the bat, like I always say, no emotions, no expectations. I see a possible head and shoulders off the bat. If you turn on your higher high, lower low, doesn't really show you, but just connecting all my 4-hour trend lines, right? Where is it? Head and shoulders. You can see this could be the right, this could be the head, and this could have been the right shoulder. Okay, just a big possibility that you have to keep in mind as a trader. Like, we're in an uptrend, this is a possibility. So what I want to do, if this would be a head and shoulders, I would want to set an alarm in this neckline crossing down, because if this is a head and shoulders and we cross down, break this neckline, break the daily this is daily, remember, yellow is daily support, monthly support, will have a beautiful short to the downside. So set your alarms, let the alarms work for you. So if we move to the upside, so this is my 4-hour. Now I'm going to go to my 4-hour target. So okay, remember I said this is line in the sand kind of situation. Back to my orange weekly trend lines here. And now we have this 4-hour. What's not to say that market makers are gonna, they like to move in threes too. So that's something that's just comes with knowledge and understanding. So this could also be a possibility. 1, we had 2, and I mean, this could be a third pump to the upside, right? So it's something to consider. So if, okay, and my target would be that resistance up here. So I'm going to go to my 1 hour. Okay, in my 1 hour, within the 4 hours, I want to set some trend lines because this could just roll back down or come back up, right? And again, this is major weekly. We said it was weekly support, right? So it's really important for me to know that if we break this trend. So my strategy is based on trend line breaks, EMAs, and support and resistance. So this will be my 1 hour. So for me, okay, for you to know that if we were to break this and break this weekly support, I'm shorting the market, right? Because it's going to come here, at least bounce off the neckline, right? Big possibility. Okay, but let's say it continues up to the upside. We break this and we come and get that third push to, let's say, what, 32,600s around there, right? So on my 4 hour, we didn't set a range. So remember your ranges, okay? Don't forget your ranges. So your ranges help a lot to see where price action is going. As I showed my Discord group, I do have a Discord, and it's free and it's all educational because I want everyone to learn the skill. It's not about guessing, it's about learning the skill and substituting your 9 to 5 and being, you know, free from working the system, right? So this is major support. I'm going to set an alarm here too. Down. Okay, so I have my expectations for my short already. So how do I take a long? It's a little difficult for a long because I'm really good at shorting. So sometimes even inverting the chart helps me a lot, right? See, 1, 2, this could come literally. Now that I see it inverted, it come all the way down here to 32,700s. So, for me to take a short right now, let me turn on pivot highs and lows. I'm sorry, a long. See, this is what happens. Invert scale. Let's go back. I don't want to mess you up here. It's holding really nice above the daily right now, so that looks nice. Let's go to the 1 hour we said. Okay, so right here on the 15, I just moved straight to the 15. Look at the candles. Just look at this beautiful, like this looks like a diamond right here. Okay, and the forex patterns are critical to know when you're trading. This looks like a beautiful diamond pattern. This pattern though is a bearish diamond, so you have to understand that, but it could pop up. So with this being said, in the 15-minute, and then look at this beautiful range here, beautiful range that we're playing here, right? Beautiful range. So just based on a possible diamond here, beautiful range, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for nice trend lines, confluence to range. I always look for a range to take a trade. So this would be my range. So this is how it's gonna go. This is gonna be my entry, possible long, like I said, possible short. Never expect anything from the charts, as they're always gonna do whatever they want. You set your range, you set your alarms. So we break this range, come up, retest, we continue up, and then continue. And of course we break. I wouldn't short till I have that weekly support being broken. So that's something to keep in mind, because we are in an uptrend too. Look at the 1226 EMAs. Those are how I trade. And market structure, I trade on the 1 hour. So the 1226 EMAs are super bullish on the 1 hour. So the trend is up. So for me to take a short, I have to get a little bit more confluence, and my confluence is going to be this trend line, this weekly support to short, okay? And like I said, and for longing, it looks really good for longing. I would want this range to break, let it break, retest here, and then it's going to continue to the upside. So I hope this helped. I hope you learned more than anything. Please follow me, hit that like and subscribe, and yeah, follow my Twitter, as I'm always super active there at awakensoul_369. And of course, please join my Discord. It's free, and this is what I do all day, every day. I share my knowledge, I share all my charts, my setups, and I trade with you. And yeah, so thank you guys, and remember to do everything with love.